kidnapping master system. Walk with me through the streets of this small town, and you won't stop until all the lights go up. On the street on a summer night, an unkempt young man was wearing headphones and walking staggeringly. He looked inconspicuous in this bustling city. His name is Sheng, and he lives up to his name. In the past 21 years, his life has not been troubled at all, and he has been particularly peaceful. Even from graduation to now, I haven't been able to find a suitable job for half a year. Even if he went to play skewers, he was alone. He drank a bottle of beer to drown his sorrows, and then staggered towards his rental house. He even felt that he was so out of tune with the city, even the trees on the streets. Just like an extremely ordinary tree, cicadas will accompany it in summer. 9 times out of 10, life will be unsatisfactory. I still don't believe that I can continue to be unlucky for another 21 years. And Sheng muttered as he walked. Why should his life be so plain and insignificant, as if whether he exists or not has nothing to do with this world? Anyone can find the value of his own existence, but he can't. Hey, get out of here, get out of here. And Sheng vaguely seemed to hear someone calling him, Your Majesty again. God, I had long felt that I had an extraordinary destiny, but I didn't expect to meet admirers while walking on the street. I'm here. Just as Sheng answered, he pulled off the earphones and felt the sound coming from the top of his head. But when he raised his head, it turns out that life is not unsatisfactory 9 times out of 10, and when unlucky reaches an extreme, it will only become more unlucky. Just like the flower pot that was about to be attached to his face, the most important thing was a pot of cactus. Protect your face. This was his only thought now, and he hurriedly lowered his head before he could dodge. With a bang, the flower pot hit his head firmly, and for a moment, his vision went dark. Is life really so miserable? Even if he is hit by a car when he goes out, he will not really be killed by a pot of cactus falling from the sky. Just as his world gradually became completely dark, he seemed to hear a faint voice. The DD system is being tested, and the DD host body meets the installation requirements. The DD system is being installed, and the DD installation is completed. The kidnapping master system is installed. And Sheng was a little confused at this moment. He was still confirming over and over again. It seemed that a system similar to that in the novel had been installed on him just now. No. How is this possible? His life is destined not to have any ripples. This must be an illusion thrown out by a flower pot. At the same time, many people gathered around Sheng, looking at the guy with a pot of cactus on his head and talking nonstop. What's going on with this guy? Is he dead? I don't know. I was suddenly hit by the cactus just now, and it became like this. The cactus above my head was motionless. He probably won't die. He just kept shouting for him to get out of the way. The owner of the cactus also hurried over. Return to your Majesty. Why don't you call 120 immediately? To say that this man was extremely miserable, he just wanted to open a window for some ventilation, but he accidentally knocked down the cactus on the balcony, and it hit the unlucky man on the head. It fell from the 10th floor, so it wouldn't really kill anyone. At this time, Anshin couldn't hear the discussions outside. He was still in the dark world verifying whether what he just heard was true. System? He asked tentatively. Exist. It's true. Is it really a system? The kind of system in novels? And Sheng asked in surprise. This system is called the Kidnapping Master System. Then I am your master now? Does that mean I'm not dead yet? Or have I traveled through time? And Sheng asked quickly. Obviously the host's life data is all normal and he is not dead. This disappoints the host. The system replied, "Ahem, ahem, don't be disappointed, don't be disappointed." And Sheng breathed a sigh of relief. "It's good that you're not dead. By the way, how did you install it on me?" This system comes from outer space. When it landed on this planet, a flower pot happened to be smashed into your cerebral cortex. This system will detect the first life form it comes into contact with, and if it matches, it will be installed. The system answered truthfully. This is what the saying goes, a blessing in disguise. Unexpectedly, he was slapped by the flower pot, and not only did he survive, but he also got a system. And Sheng's current mood is really indescribable, although it is still a bit incredible when he thinks that his life may change greatly in the future. He can't hold back the excitement in his heart. Just when he was about to ask in detail what this system was, suddenly he felt someone shaking his body. Then there was a voice in his ear. "Hey, are you okay? You're still breathing and heart beating. Did you become a vegetative state?" With this violent shake, Ansheng opened his eyes and woke up. What came into view was a girl in a white nurse uniform. The girl's eyes were filled with disbelief. Are you awake?" the nurse asked hurriedly. Only then did Ansheng notice that there were many people around him. Hey, young man, are you okay? I was calling you for a long time just now. You please don't really cause anything." The owner of the flower pot hurriedly stepped forward and asked. And Sheng had just now completely smoothed over his memory. He had just been hit by the flower pot, and then he entered a special space and saw the system. He almost forgot that he had been hit by the flower pot. "Ahem, cough, cough, it's okay. You're in good health." And Sheng hurriedly shook off the flower soil on his head, indicating that nothing happened to him. "Go to the hospital for a checkup. I'll pay for the medical bills." The owner of the flower pot was still a little worried and asked hurriedly. And Sheng shook his head. "It's really okay." Anyway, the system just said that his vital data was normal. Why should he go to the hospital? Of course, if it were normal, he would definitely ask for compensation or something, but now his mind is full of things about the system, and he has no time to think about other things. Not to mention going to the hospital for a checkup, which is a waste of time. It's better to go back early and have a good understanding of what the system is. Is everything okay? This is a flower pot that fell from the 10th floor. Not only the owner of the flower pot, but also the nurse and the surrounding melon eaters were all surprised. Could it be that this guy has practiced Iron Head Kung Fu? "It's okay, I'm leaving first." And Sheng hurriedly broke away from everyone and ran towards home. Now he only has one idea, and that is to figure out what the hell the system is. Chapter 2, A Fatal Kidnapping Mission. And Sheng hurried back to his rental house. The place he rents is in the basement because it is about to be demolished. So now, except for him, there are no tenants. The landlord also, because Ansheng owed too much rent and it was going to be demolished anyway, so he didn't care about the rent. So he simply let him stay. The only thing is, before the demolition, Ansheng must get out. It was a sultry night, especially in this underground rental house, which didn't even have a window, making the house even more dreary. But Ansheng won't think about those things now. His mind is completely attracted by the system he suddenly got before. System. Is the system here? And Sheng closed the door and asked hurriedly. Here. The electronic sound of the system came out in his mind. I want to know about the function of your system. Am I going to go to heaven soon? And Sheng couldn't hold back the excitement in his heart. It is conceivable that if you suddenly get such a system, something that cannot be understood by current civilization may really come to heaven. Just as Sheng finished speaking, a line of words appeared in his mind. This system comes from a distant star field, and is the most advanced technological civilization in the star field where the system is located. An accident caused this system to be exiled to the universe. It came to the Earth by mistake and was possessed by the host body by mistake. After reading this line of text, Ansheng was even more surprised. Distant star field? How far away? A grand scale that the host cannot understand. The system has no idea how to explain this. Anyway, as far as Ansheng understood it, this system was because he was afraid that he wouldn't be able to understand it, so he simply didn't bother to waste time explaining it. It's true that Ansheng himself is not very interested in the universe. Even if he asked about it all night, he probably wouldn't be able to figure it out. He might as well understand the function of this system. The system, what role do you have, and what can you bring me? Ansheng finally asked the most critical question. This system is called the Kidnapping Master System. Tasks will be randomly distributed in the system. The host must accept the task. After completing the task, he will receive a very special reward. The ultimate goal is to become a kidnapping master across countless planes. Kidnapping master? Ansheng muttered, kidnapping for what? It can't really be a literal kidnapping. The host completes the binding for the first time and has a chance to draw a random lottery. Do you want to do the lottery? The system did not wait for Ansheng to ask anything more, but instead took the initiative to bring up a lottery opportunity. There's no need to ask. The lottery will start immediately. Ansheng said hurriedly, without thinking about what the kidnapping master was. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the True Lies skill. What? Ansheng was a little confused. True lie. Is this truth or a lie? Then an introduction to this skill appeared in Ansheng's mind. Skill introduction. True lie. As the name suggests, after activating this skill, every word spoken by the host will become 100% credible, but what the host says when activating the skill must be a lie. Daily usage limit, 10 sentences. As skill proficiency increases, the usage limit will also increase. Damn it! Ansheng was a little excited. This skill is simply too powerful. True lies. Even lies will make people feel 100% credible. What a powerful skill. To put it nicely, it's called a true lie, but to put it badly, it's a big liar. The only drawback is that I can only speak 10 sentences a day, and I need to gradually improve it. This skill is pretty good. I'm very satisfied. Ansheng said with a smile. Then, what should I do to get other rewards? The host can complete the task, but once the system releases the task, it will not stop. The host must also accept the task. Failure to accept it is considered a failure. Of course it will be released. Isn't getting the system just to do tasks that will change your life? Ansheng said excitedly. But as soon as he finished speaking, Ansheng felt a little regretful. I didn't think too much about it before, but the tasks issued by this thing called the Kidnapping Master System wouldn't all be to kidnap people. Sure enough, the idea just came to him, and then the system already prompted the task to appear. Main mission released. The host is invited to go to the world of Legend of Sword and Fairy 1 and kidnap the heroine Linueru. The method of kidnapping is binding, kidnapping time. 1 day, mission time. 3 days, mission difficulty. 2 stars. Upon completion of the mission, a random lottery reward will be obtained. Mission failure. The host's IQ will be reduced by 100, and the current IQ is 123. After reading this mission, Ansheng wanted to cry. If the mission failed, would his IQ be reduced by 100 points? Are you kidding? An IQ of 23 is not mentally retarded. It is incomplete evolution. Can I give up? Abandoning will be regarded as mission failure. Are you sure, host? No. Ansheng shook his head hurriedly. What a joke. He didn't want to evolve incompletely. It's just, what's your mission? To kidnap Lin Yueru, the heroine of the world of The Legend of Sword and Fairy One. And you have to use the binding mode? Damn it. This is Seeking Death. Anqing himself is also a loyal player of this Sword of Immortality series. Not to mention the relationship between Lin Yueru and Li Xiaoyao, but just talking about Lin Yueru herself, she is the apple of the eye of Lin Tiannan, the leader of the Martial Arts Alliance. The most important thing is that Sheng remembers very clearly that Lin Yueru's settings in the game were based on his family's unique skills, and he had no rivals in the south of the Yangtze River. If it weren't for being a daughter and unable to inherit the position of alliance leader, there would be no need for a contest to recruit a bride. This task can no longer be described as a bit stressful. It is a complete and utter act of seeking death. Wanting to kidnap this woman? No, this woman is stronger than a man. What's the difference between that and picking stars from the sky? It's still a 2-star difficulty level. Oh my God, who can imagine what the next mission will be? You. Are you sent by God to torture me? And Sheng was about to cry. Even so, he could only bite the bullet and choose to accept it. No matter what, he had to complete the mission. He didn't want to become an incompletely evolved body. It's salvation. The system replied, "Save your sister." And Sheng really cried this time. Wait a minute, system. Aren't there any props to assist me in kidnapping? None. The host can open the mission mall and redeem props by upgrading the level. What level can be opened? Level 2. So I'm level 1 now? No, the host has no level now. Then a line of information appeared in his mind. Name, Sheng. Gender, male. Race, human. Age, 21 years old. Level, 0. Title, kidnapped rookie. Skill, true lies. Points, 0. Mission, kidnap Lin Yueru in bondage mode for 24 hours. Time remaining, 71 hours and 51 minutes. Chapter 3, True Lies. In any case, the mission has begun. Kidnapping the daughter of the Lin family from the world of Legend of Sword and Fairy One is a bit difficult. The most important thing is that now he is just an ordinary person. But the only thing we can rely on is this. He is an ordinary person, but he is an ordinary person in the 21st century. It seems that we can only use some dirty tricks. After thinking about it, if you want to successfully kidnap the daughter of the Lin family, you can only do it with something unique to the 21st century. Otherwise, you will be seeking death. As for Wei, he thought of one. Although it was a bit risky, it might be the only way. And Sheng picked up the phone and dialed a series of numbers. Fatty Lu, this is his high school classmate, now working as a surgical director in the city hospital. After the call was dialed, a voice came from the other end. I said, Anqing, why are you calling me in the middle of the night? And Sheng had a good relationship with Fatty Lu when he was in school, but after that, the two of them had less interaction. After all, after entering the society, the two people had completely different levels of contact. He was the director of surgery at the city hospital, while Anqing didn't even have a serious job. This, Director Lu, is a little trivial. I want to ask you if you can lend me some anesthetic. And Sheng asked. This was the way he came up with, using anesthetics to kidnap Lin Yueru for one day. It's just that the sale of this anesthetic is prohibited on the market, and the only person he can find is this classmate. What? After hearing what Sheng said, a surprised question came from the other end of the phone. And Sheng, the sale of this anesthetic is prohibited. Why do you want this? Well, Director Lu, I will pay for the anesthetic, but can you give me some from you? And Sheng asked. There was silence for a while on the other end of the phone. After a few minutes, Fatty Lou finally said, "Oh, you are making things difficult for me. You have to tell me what it is used for. The leakage of this anesthetic is prohibited." And Sheng also thought it was a bit funny, but he would not embarrass this old classmate. Just in time to try out True Lies. Try this skill to see if it's really that dominating. Activate skills. And Sheng said in his heart, "Ding, the skill is activated. The limit is 10 sentences. It's like this, Director Liu. You also know that I don't have much work. I raise some poultry in my hometown, but there are often weasels and the like in the mountains to cause trouble. I want some anesthetics to spread around." And Sheng said, "So that's it. That's easy to handle. After all, we are also classmates. Just come to the city hospital to see me tomorrow." Fatty Lou agreed with a smile. Hearing Fatty Lou's readily agreed, and Sheng was also excited. It seemed that this skill was indeed very dominating, and he actually believed it. Turn-off skills. After all, it can only be activated 10 times a day, so it's better to use it sparingly. "Okay, that's really troublesome." And Sheng said, "Well, Ansheng, go back to your hometown and start a small business honestly. This city is not suitable for you." After saying this, Fatty Lou hung up the phone directly. As for what the last sentence meant, and Sheng didn't think about it. Anyway, what he wanted was already done. Early the next morning, and Sheng got up and set out. Although he said he woke up early, he actually barely slept the whole night as he was thinking about the kidnapping mission. Although I was very scared, I was actually a little excited. He is still very anxious. There are only 61 hours left before the task is completed, and he must race against time. To be honest, he rarely came to the hospital in this city, and coupled with his natural road-crazy state, he was inevitably a little confused. "Hey, excuse me, I would like to ask where the surgical director's office is?" And Sheng stopped a passing nurse and asked, "Hey, why is it you?" The nurse turned around and saw Sheng. "Did your head feel uncomfortable after you went back yesterday? Is there something wrong? You should go to the radiology department to take an X-ray first." And Sheng then remembered that this was the nurse he saw yesterday. No, I'm fine. I'm here to find someone, the director of surgery at the hospital." And Sheng explained hurriedly. Looking at the girl's enthusiastic attitude, I guess if he doesn't explain, he will definitely be dragged to the radiology department to take a picture. He doesn't have time to stay now. Well, then, just follow this road to the end. "Thank you." And Sheng said hello and left with a puzzled look in the little nurse's eyes. When Sheng followed this road to the surgical director's office, he happened to see Fatty Lou walking out with a cup of tea. "Director Liu." And Sheng shouted hurriedly. Fatty Lou raised his head and looked at Sheng up and down and said, "And Sheng, are you here so soon?" "Yeah, I have to catch the train back soon." And Sheng said with a smile, "Okay, I'll prepare it for you. I have a lot of anesthetics here." As he said that, Fatty Lou took out a small bottle. This is Shutai injection, which is specially used to anesthetize animals. "Thank you. How much does this cost?" And Sheng asked. Fatty Lou shook his head. "Forget it. We are still classmates after all. Ansheng, I'm not telling you at first. Let's go anyway. This city is not suitable for you. Go to the countryside to do some small business. Marry a wife and live a decent life." Although Sheng still smiled and nodded his thanks, he didn't think so in his heart. His life is destined to never be as peaceful as before, and he is tired of that kind of life. "Then I'll thank you properly when I get the chance." And Sheng said and left. Fatty Lou looked at Sheng's back and shook his head. He didn't take it seriously, and he didn't expect In Sheng's thank you. On the contrary, in his eyes, this person's life is destined to have no intersection with him. After leaving the hospital in the city, Anqing also bought a few ropes on the way back. Now he was almost ready. After In Sheng returned to the rental house, he hurriedly asked, "System, check the remaining time of the mission. There are 59 hours and 33 minutes left in the mission. Do you want to start the mission now?" And Sheng looked at the ropes and the bottle of Certa injection, and after thinking about it, he changed the Certa injection into a drink bottle. However, is it really okay to use animal-specific anesthetics to knock down Lin Yueru? No matter, I don't want to become a fool and be kidnapped by me for a day. And Sheng made up his mind. Either way, he would rather die than become a fool or be killed by Lin Yueru. He would rather choose the latter. Mission started. His voice fell, and a blue light fell on him. As the light dissipated, his figure became ethereal. Chapter for the World of Fairy Sword. When In Sheng opened his eyes again, he had appeared in a whole new world. Tonghulu candied haws, 2 cents a bunch. Zhoji meat buns, freshly baked, cost 3 cents each, 2 cents each for 5 cents. Come and take a look. The newly arrived Rouge Gouache, the most popular rouge drunk in the imperial capital. All kinds of shouts and hawking sounds attracted Anqing, and what caught his eyes was a whole new world. Roads paved with blue stones were surrounded by ancient Jiangnan buildings. There was an endless stream of hawkers selling all kinds of things on the road. This is Suzhou in the world of Fairy Sword. And Sheng murmured to himself, according to the description in the game, this should be during the Tang Dynasty. As for which era of the Tang Dynasty it was, he had no way of knowing. Although we have come to this world of fairy swords, how to get close to Lin Yueru is a key issue. And Sheng felt like he was seeking death, but since he had taken the first step, he would definitely continue. Hey, have you heard? The daughter of the Lin family fort was defeated yesterday. Of course I heard that the daughter of the Lin family was not only defeated, but the man who defeated her actually refused to marry her. Hey, that's for sure. The daughter of the Lin family is just like a tigress. Who dares to marry her? Brother, this is wrong. The daughter of the Lin family is as beautiful as a flower and has a fortune. If it were me... Save it. Don't urinate and see what you look like. You're as thick as a penis, but not as tall. All you have is your butt and your waist. Even if I'm blind, I won't look for you. Speaking of which, I saw the daughter of the Lin family staying in the tavern for a day and was hurt by love. Listening to everyone's discussion, and Sheng knew the time period he was in now. It should have been the period after Li Xiaoyao defeated Lin Yueru in the martial arts contest. In this way, Li Xiaoyao had already gotten to know Lin Yueru. "Are you in the tavern?" And Sheng nodded, inquired, and hurried to the tavern. Of course, a particularly wretched plan has also sprouted in my mind. Although it is very wretched, as long as it can succeed, it is a good plan. At this time, it was the largest tavern in Suzhou City. This is the largest tavern in Suzhou, and it can be said to be full of customers every day, but now there is a very delicate situation. There are naturally 2 extremes in this tavern. One side is full of people, while the other side has only 1 table and 1 person in a space of nearly 100 square meters. This woman was wearing a red dress with a peach-like face and a slight blush on her face. There were several wine jars on the table, and there were tears in the corners of her eyes. No one dared to come forward. "You bastard! Why is this girl so unworthy of you that you dare to refuse marriage in front of so many people?" The woman said angrily, picked up the wine glass in front of her, and drank it all in 1 gulp. "Waiter, where's the wine?" Bring me the wine. A man dressed as a waiter ran over and said, Miss Lin, you've drank a lot today. Don't drink any more. Huh? What do you mean? With a bang, the woman raised her hand and broke the wine glass, then pointed at the waiter and said, What do you mean? You mean I can't afford it? I can afford to pay for it even if I smash your restaurant. The waiter looked panicked for fear of offending the aunt, so he hurriedly smiled and said, No, no, no. That's not what I meant. The people watching from a distance sighed and silently lit a candle for the waiter in their hearts. What a shame. Looking at the city of Suzhou, whoever dares to provoke this rich young lady is looking for death after being full. Fortune-telling and fortune-telling determine marriage. Why do you want to trouble this little second brother? This voice attracted everyone's attention, and they all looked towards the door. They saw a young man dressed strangely and, wearing a pair of black glasses, slowly walking towards the door. Who is this guy? He's dressed so weirdly. He's seeking death. This isn't it. It seems that he is not from our city. He is so ignorant that he dares to mention marriage in front of Lin Qianjin.